What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today is finally the day that we're gonna get into this year's Halloween Decorate With Me and a House Tour video. It's almost Halloween and you guys know what time that is. It is time for Caitlin to post her video a few days before Halloween. I put a lot of extra love and care into this one to give you guys all of the Halloween ambiance and spooky vibes and decor inspiration. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. As per usual, I brought in all of the Halloween totes from our storage. Over the years, we have amassed quite the collection, so it is pretty overwhelming at first. I packed them away last year in a way that I knew would help me out this year. After going through the totes, I laid everything out on our dining table and I separated all of the items by color scheme and by theme. This is just a really good process to use to just get your thoughts organized, and it will help you envision how you're going to decorate each area. I already brought those corn stalks in the house, so I put those opaque orange lights on those corn stalks. I grabbed a really vibey drink and we got started on the piano. I like to kick off the process by starting with our piano. I use it as a centerpiece to decorate every year, much like a fireplace mantle. I like to keep the theme very classic Halloween by highlighting pieces that represent all of the main icons of Halloween, or what we personally love the most about it. A haunted house, spooky trees, and the headless horseman are always essential, but I loved adding in this skull jack-o'-lantern this time around as it really reminds me of Halloween too. Fairy lights in this luminary is always a staple, and I just love this orange and black witch. I stuck with a strictly orange, black, and white color scheme throughout the process, which made it easier to narrow down the items that I was working with. I also keep symmetry in mind the entire time. If you ever need to fill up some space, you can always add in a black feather boa, as I did here, or some autumn leaf garland. Both are great choices when you feel that your decor just needs a little extra something. I love adding this garland in combination with these LED jack-o'-lantern lights that my parents have had for many years, but nowadays it gives me such a trick-or-treat vibe, and I absolutely love it. Really reminds me of Sam's Sucker. Next, I added in a black velvet runner for some texture along with these velvet pumpkins. I then incorporated my favorite vintage inspired pieces to the piano to tie the whole classic Halloween theme together. Lastly, we resurrected the webcaster gun to finish the look off with some spooky cinematic cobwebs. Let me know if you guys would like an in-depth tutorial on how to use the webcaster. I'd be happy to work on that for you. Next up, we are heading over to the coffee bar. It was yet another beautifully gloomy, rainy autumn day, which is the perfect time for us to decorate the coffee bar. In natural fashion, I lit a festive candle and made myself a cup of Bones coffee, topped it with a glorious amount of whipped cream, and I got to work. Beforehand, I wiped everything down with my favorite Mrs. Meyer's spray, which is the acorn spice scent. The scent is heavenly and it lingers in the air for quite a while. I just love it and it really sets the mood. I started out building the tiered tray by bringing out items that I knew I wanted to use the most. This Rae Dunn mug, this faux whipped topper from Etsy, which I will link down below, as well as an array of my favorite spooky mugs. I recently had a request for a spooky mug collection video, so let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. After arranging a few of the mugs, I added in my favorite Bones coffee. Not sponsored, wish I was. I swapped out our Ninja pot this year for my beloved Keurig, and I used this open-mouthed jack-o'-lantern to house all of our Bones K-Cups for the season. Their caramel apple is thebomb.com. I then hung a few more mugs before moving on to adding more details to the tray. From the overall look of the font on the sign, to the vintage cat, to the polka dot straws, with every decor piece that I added, I was going for a Halloween carnival kind of a vibe, inspired by my favorite area in Halloweekend's Harvest Fear. I then added in some autumn leaf garland before styling the shelves. I loved incorporating these candy corn picks this year, and my idea for them turned out just as I had hoped. You can never go wrong with decorative picks. You can put them literally anywhere. Anywhere. I then hung this spooky circus banner to tie the whole theme together. No Halloween coffee bar is complete without fairy lights. Here's the newest member of our family, October, aka Toby, who wanted to join in on the fun. He is so curious and watches everything I do, much like our Mayhem did. He is the sweetest, and he has been such a blessing in our lives. My goal with the bottom of the bar is always to keep it functional rather than another showpiece, so I dress it up instead with some of my favorite seasonal foods and beverages with just a dash of decor. I added the last few touches to the tiered tray, and this was the end result. I am so thrilled with the spooky carnival theme. It really gives me the essence of Halloweekends, and my heart lights up every time I see it. Let's move on now to decorating my office/beauty room. The next day I decided to decorate my bar cart in my office as well as my vanity. First I started off as usual with the fall leaf garland, and then I added the orange fairy lights on top, and then I began playing around with some different items that I wanted to use this year. I took this bathtub that my mom's had for about 10 to 12 years now, and we painted it black, which made it so gorgeous. My overall idea for this bar cart was to make it kind of like a spa night bar cart, and I decided to use this bathtub to house all of my spooky bath bombs for the season, and then I added in this awesome teacup that I found at Big Lots of all places, and then this wooden haunted house shelf from the Target dollar spot, and I decided to use this for all of my fall skincare for spa night. I also decided to switch out the candle I was using so the color scheme would work better. I wasn't fully done with the top yet, but I did decide to move on to the bottom of the bar cart, another bottle of Witch's Brew wine, and these wine glasses that you know I always like to fill with candy corn, but I probably will be dumping that out and actually drinking the Witch's Brew out of it because, like I said, this is a spa night bar cart and we like to have a good glass of wine on a spa night. I just kept moving things around until it felt right, and I did switch out some items. I instead decided to use this little wooden spooky sign that my mother-in-law got us. It just fit in perfectly. It fit in perfectly. It even was lined with like an orange coppery color, and it was just so gorgeous and so perfect for this bar cart. I finally added in all of my spooky perfumes. This isn't all of the perfumes that I use during the season, but I put in the ones that matched the best and the ones that I do wear this time of year the most. And as much as I wanted to put my poison apple perfume on the bar cart, it just was not working aesthetically, so I put it as close to the bar cart as I could on one of my fragrance shelves, just so it could still be close enough to the display. Next, I moved on to decorating my vanity, which I've never done before, and this was so fun, you guys. I added in some orange fairy lights, which these ones I used here, I realized were just a little too small and dull for me. I eventually switched them out with a better pair of orange fairy lights, but this is what we were working with for now. And then I added in my Queen of Halloween sign as well as all of my eyeshadow palettes for the season. And then I just built the scene from there. I added in that October 31st pumpkin as well as that succulent skull on either side. And then I used that rock and roll skeleton hand that I raved about in my haul this year, and it fit perfectly. And then I continued to build from there. I just moved some things around and made it look a little more cohesive. And then I used the extra pedestal on my vanity to highlight my candle from Confectionery Soaps Co. I got the Candy Corn Kisses candle, and you guys, this thing does smell exactly like candy corn. It's amazing. And on the other side, I decided to create symmetry with that with the Confectionery Soaps Co. body spray that I got this year in the scent Spooky Season, which is so heavenly. I don't know how it took me this long to discover Confectionery Soaps Co., but I'm really glad that I did. Lastly, I decided to add in this incense burner from Killstar. Not only does it serve a great purpose for spa night, but it's just gonna give a little extra spooky vibe with the smoke billowing from the cauldron. I don't know, man. As simple as it is, I am just in love with the top of my vanity right now. I mean, look at these vignettes. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I'm really happy with how the bar cart and my vanity turned out this year, and I'm so excited to show you guys what everything looks like lit up at night at the end of the video. Moving on to our Art Deco living room, as usual, I decided to put on something really vibey, or vibey. I first got to work on the bar cart. I already had the velvet runner and artwork ready to go, so I started out with this amazing on-theme bottle of whiskey since it was the tallest item, then added in the beautiful 20s flapper statue as well as the magnificent smoked black glass candle pedestal. I finished off the top tier of the cart by adding in this Art Deco luminary from Joann's, as well as some crystal rocks glasses, marble coasters, and a few leftover black and gold cocktail napkins from our wedding, which I feel tied everything together. The bottom tier was a lot of fun as well. I started out with the skull tray from Michael's and used this black and gold Happy Halloween sign as a backdrop. I then added in these elegant skeleton hand wine glasses, a black and copper marble skull from Spirit Halloween, as well as one of our favorite bottles of wine. I incorporated this set of faux books, which was one of my favorite finds this year, a beautiful masquerade mask that we've had for many years that assisted in tying in some of the beige tones that I used, and finally a black velvet pumpkin to complete this classy Halloween aesthetic. I topped it all off by placing a few bats on the wall. This year I had picked up several new decor pieces, so it was a bit of a challenge to discover the best placement for everything in order to keep the decor chic and balanced, but after playing around for a while, it all finally came together. Moving on to the coffee table, I first laid down this gorgeous embellished spider runner, which I am in awe of every time I see it. I then added this decorative plate from At Home and created a centerpiece using these black and gold glitter pumpkins, this incredible candle sleeve from Bath & Body Works, which matches so well it's insane. I used black rocks as filler to complete the centerpiece and then moved on to the rest of the table. On the right, I used this marble decorative tray, which I adorned with this gold spider dish and a black marble pumpkin. I played around with a few more items to get a scene that I was happy with, and then moved on to the left side of the table. Here I highlighted one of our very favorite cocktail books, as well as this brushed gold skeleton bowl, which I filled with black cobwebs, and placed a white marble skull on top as a statement piece. Finishing off the tablescape, I added in some gold taper candle holders, as well as this I Lit the Black Flame candle to provide a spooky but romantic candlelit ambiance for our movie nights. I can't wait to show you guys how beautiful this area looks during the house tour at the end of the video. It's finally time to decorate my very favorite part of the house, which is the tiki bar. We always go for a shipwrecked undead pirate under the sea kind of theme down here, and it's so much fun to put together, so I'm actually going to let you guys just vibe out to this section music video style so you can truly soak in the ambiance and the mood down here, because it is just such a vibe. It is my favorite space to be, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this decorating process. Finally, we moved on to the dining table. I put on Sleepy Hollow, and yes, yet again, on this evening, I grabbed another festive, tasty beverage. I started off the dining table with this black velvet tablecloth, and then on top, I added this elegant black and silver spiderweb runner that was given to me by a good friend. I began the tablescape with this black glitter branchy wreath, as well as our most beloved black and silver candelabra to tie the color scheme together. I was so stoked to add in this gorgeous Gothic skull planter that I raved about in my haul, which I filled with my favorite black roses. On the opposite side, I added this matte blackbird cage that we painted with a crow placed inside. I then added in these two black glitter spooky trees to fill in the gaps and balance out the height of the candelabra. Next, I began laying a foundation of Spanish moss to create our cemetery theme. I got this Spanish moss off of Amazon, and believe it or not, it is actually really hard to work with. You have to have a lot of patience, and there's a lot of cleaning up as you go, but the end result is so worth it. Once finished, I began burying these aged and broken skull pieces amongst the moss. I inherited these from a family friend that makes amazing horror special effects pieces, and I knew immediately how I wanted to decorate with them. I've had this Gothic graveyard concept for our table since July, and I was so excited to see it finally brought to life. It does give me a bit of a Sleepy Hollow feeling. What do you guys think? I finished off the graveyard tablescape with some bits of green moss and black glitter spiders. Next, I set the table, and I felt it was a really elegant touch to wrap the napkins around the plates this year as opposed to draping them as I have in previous years. Once again, I added cobwebs and light up ice cubes to the cocktail glasses to give it that glowing, eerie, dry ice, bubbling fog effect. Of course, no Halloween dining table is complete without some spooky theatrical cobwebs. It's finally time to get into my very favorite part of this video, which is the montage of everything lit up at night. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the video and which area of the house was your favorite. This year, it's really hard for me to pick a favorite area. I think it's a tie between the Art Deco area and the tiki bar. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with anyone you know who loves Halloween and could use a little extra inspiration. Thank you guys so much for watching, and happy Halloween.